What is up guys, my name is Ignas, welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing a dividend stock comparison, where I pick a few dividend paying names from the same industry, check and compare their fundamental metrics, and try to find the best stocks for my dividend portfolio. So now we are going into consumer discretionary sector, and the industry are restaurants. So I've picked 3 large names from it. The first one is McDonald's, ticker symbol MCD. On the year to date, the stock is up for 9.68%. Company's market cap is at $211 billion, and the stock is now trading at a dividend yield of 2.1%. So this is the largest name for today's comparison, but I've picked 2 more to put against it. Second is YUM Brands, ticker symbol YUM. It operates large chains as KFC, Pizza Hut, and Taco Bell. On the year to date, the stock is up for 6.81%. Company's market cap is at almost $38 billion, and now the stock is trading at a dividend yield of 1.78%. This is already a way smaller name than McDonald's, and there is another one that I've picked to compare. This is Restaurant Brands International, ticker symbol QSR. Under the name are brands such as Burger King and Papa John's. On the year to date, the stock is up for 16.82%. Company's market cap is now $23.5 billion. And it is trading at a dividend yield of 2.92%. So these 3 will be the names for today's restaurant's dividend comparison, and to track everything together we'll use Google Sheets. So I have the table with the ticker symbol SIN already prepared, and to make the comparison happen we'll use 5 different metrics. Dividend yield, dividend payout ratio, years of consecutive dividend increases, 5-year compound annual dividend growth rate, and the current dividend yield compared to its 5-year average. We'll check under these metrics for each ticker symbol, add them into the table, and compare them in between. The stock with the best metric will get a point, then we'll sum these points up, and in the end the name with the best result will be considered the winner of this dividend comparison. I hope that these rules were clear, and an early thumbs up would be greatly appreciated, and with that out of the way, let's start. So the first metric for the comparison is the dividend yield. It is calculated by taking the annual dividend per share and dividing it by the share price. For McDonald's, the annual dividend is now at $6.08, so at a price of $289.81 per share, we have a dividend yield of 2.1%. YUM Brands, their dividend is at $2.42, meaning that with a price of $135.60, we got a dividend yield of 1.78%. And then Restaurant Brands International, where the dividend is $2.20, so at $75.35 per share, we have a dividend yield of 2.92%. Second metric we are taking a look into is the dividend payout ratio. Percentage here shows what part of company's earnings are being paid to investors as dividends. So McDonald's currently has a dividend payout ratio of 50.1%, meaning that they give out exactly half of their earnings as dividends. Now YUM Brands, with a payout ratio of 40.85%, so below half of their earnings are distributed as dividends, and Restaurant Brands, with a dividend payout ratio of 64.69%, so 2/3 of earnings are paid as dividends. Now let's check years of consecutive dividend increases. So for how many years in a row the company has increased the dividends consistently for at least 1 quarter every year. In McDonald's case, they have been increasing dividends straight for the last 4 to 6 years. Now YUM Brands, with only 6 years of consecutive dividend increases, and then QSR with just a bit more, 8 years of consistently increasing dividends. Metric number 4 is the compound annual dividend growth rate. For the comparison, we'll take the 5-year average, including the next year's estimate. So in McDonald's case, the 5-year dividend growth rate is at 5.15%. Now YUM Brands, and their dividend growth rate is at 7.57%, and then Restaurant Brands, with a 5-year dividend growth rate of 1.92%. The last metric is the dividend yield compared to its 5-year average. And for that we're using my dividend investing watchlist on Google Sheets. So we're in the tab for McDonald's. Here is its dividend yield history for each quarter of the last 5 years. And it calculates that on average in 5 years the stock was trading at a dividend yield of 2.25%. So the best time to get into the stock was back in 2020, where it was trading at a yield of 2.61%, over average for 16.08%, and the worst time was just recently in 2023 at a dividend of 2.03%, below average for 9.72%. Though getting into the stock right now at a dividend yield of 2.10%, that is still below the 5-year average minus 6.73%. So this is here the number that we're taking for the comparison. Now Yum Brands, we have its dividend yield history for each quarter of the last 5 years, and on average the stock was trading at a dividend yield of 1.7%. So the best time to get in was back in 2022, where we saw the dividend at 1.96%, higher than average for 14.99%, and the worst time was back in 2019, with a dividend of 1.39%, below average for 18.45%. Though taking the stock right now at a yield of 1.78%, that is a bit better, higher than average, plus 4.70%. And lastly, we have Restaurant Brands International. Here is its dividend yield history for each quarter of the last 5 years, and on average it was trading at a dividend yield of 3.33%. So the worst time to get in was back in 2019, at a dividend of 2.7%, under average for 18.88%, though there has been a good moment in 2022, where the yield was 4.47%, over average for 31.29%. Though taking the stock now, that is way worse at 2.92%, below the 5-year average for 12.28%. So now we got the numbers for the dividend comparison. If you are interested in this or any other dividend paying stock, you can access this watchlist by following the first link at the top of the description. Otherwise, feel free to add a ticker symbol in a comment below, and I'll consider adding that into an upcoming comparison. Maybe you could share some interesting opportunity available in the market that I'm still missing. So we checked through these 3 names, took the metrics results, and now we can start comparing. Restaurant Brands gets the first point for the highest dividend yield at 2.92%, point to Yum Brands for the lowest dividend payout ratio at 40.85%, a point to McDonald's for 46 years of consecutively increasing dividends, another point to Yum Brands for the largest 5-year dividend growth rate of 7.57%, and the last point also goes to Yum Brands, where its dividend yield is now 4.7% higher than its 5-year average. So we have assigned points for this comparison, and now we can calculate results. McDonald's got 1 point, Yum Brands 3, and Restaurant Brands 1. This means that with 3 best metrics, Yum Brands is considered the winner of this dividend comparison. Now taking a look into my dividend portfolio, I am currently holding McDonald's, got into the stock way back in the end of 2020, and the position is now way up plus 37.62%, but it seems that if adding into this sector, or at least the restaurants industry, Yum Brands could be considered the priority going further. What do you think? Should we add YUM into the portfolio? Share your opinion on it or suggest a better pick in a comment below. Also, don't forget to support the channel and leave a thumbs up under the video. Last week I've made an update on the portfolio and dividend progress, so if you are interested in that, then click on a video that is currently on the screen. And that was it from my side. Thank you for watching, and I will be seeing y'all in the next one.